everybody, welcome to PBM's Video Entertainment, and welcome back to another episode of Thomas & Friends Import Reviews. In this video, we're going to be talking about sing-along and stories. Not to be confused with the US release from 1997, no, I'm actually talking about Japan's version of sing-along and stories. So, there's not one, not two, but 3 volumes of sing-along and stories. So they pretty much made it into a trilogy, which you'll see what I mean by that in a moment. And without wasting any more time, we will now jump into the history of the Sing-Along and Stories trilogy. So, the Sing-Along and Stories trilogy was originally released onto VHS by Fuji Television Network Incorporated. So, the first volume was originally released back in August 1st of 1998. Then, on July 1st, 1999, we finally got the second volume, with the third volume releasing 5 months later on December 1st. Then in 2004, we finally got the entire trilogy onto DVD, also distributed by Fuji Television Network. Now, strangely enough, the first 2 volumes were finally released onto DVD back in July 30th, while the last volume was finally put onto DVD 2 days later. And now we got the history part done, we will now jump into my copy of the entire Sing-Along and Stories trilogy. Alrighty, we will now jump into my copy of the entire Sing-Along and Stories trilogy. Now, just to let you know, all of them are going to be DVD copies, and the other thing is, I did actually used to own Sing-Along and Stories Volume 2 and 3, but I sold them because, well, I figured the DVD copies, they would have more benefits, which they do. But anyways, let's start off with Volume 1, shall we? So, here we have the front poster art. Here we have James, Toby, Percy, and Henry. Then here we have Thomas looking all surprised. And then here we have a blue background, which is very nice. DVD video logo, Gigancha Thomas logo. And then this is, DVD number 1 in the Sing-Along and Stories trilogy. Here we have the old style hit logo and this Pikai's logo or whatever it is. Spine, and then here we have the Fuji logo, and then here we have a promo shot from Thomas in a special letter, scrolling down here, and then the back. Then here we have a deleted scene from Oliver Owns Up, and then here we have a scene from Thomas and the Trucks, and then here we have the songs and episodes listed on the back. The left side, we have the stuff listed in English, and then here we have it translated to Japanese. So yeah. And our 2 story stops are narrated by Leo Morimoto in Japanese. And then for the English, our 2 narrators are Ringo Starr and Michael Angelis. And here we have the copyright info and the DVD's region 2. And then here I have the Thomas & Friends logo. And here's the disc. And right here, we have a song sheet, which you could sing the songs either in English or in Japanese. And as you can tell with this one, this has seen better days. And next up, here we have Volume 2. So, here we have Thomas once again. This is a different promo shot of Thomas. Then here we have James, Harold, Henry, and Percy. Then here we have Entertainment and then Pikai's DVD video logo, and then the spine. Here we have the Fuji logo once again. Then here we have the promo shot of Thomas. I think this is a promo shot from like maybe Thomas season 5, I think. If I'm wrong, then it might be 4. I think it's 5, I think. Yeah, either this is a promo shot from either Thomas season 4 or season 5. Somewhere between that. And then here we have the back. Here we have 2 different scenes from Rusty and the Boulder, which it is on this release. Our Japanese narrator is, of course, Leo Morimoto, and our English narrator is Michael Angelis. So yeah, here we have the songs listed. This is the English, and then this is the Japanese. Copyright info, and then it's region 2. And then here we have the disc. Yeah, I gotta say, like, this is in really good condition. Like, the case really good, and the song sheet right here, yeah, I gotta say, even though like it's a little folded, but overall still in a better condition than the first one for the sheet wise. Last but not least, here we have Volume 3. So here we have Thomas, this different promo shot of Thomas. Then here we have Gordon, Bill and Ben, Percy and James. Here we have the Hit Entertainment logo, and then Peak Eyes, Spine, Fuji logo, and then here we have a promo shot from Paint Pots and Queens. Yep. Then we have two different promo shots from Snow, which it is on this release. English narrator is Michael Angelis, and then Japanese narrator is Leo Morimoto. Yep. And then, of course, the songs listed in both English and Japanese. Thomas Friends logo, the copyright info, DVD's Region 2. Yep. And here's the disc. And then let's have a look at the booklet for the song sheet right here. And now, what's great about the DVD copies? Well, all of these are bilingual. So, yeah, you could watch all of these in Japanese dub or in English dub if you like. Which, that is pretty cool. Versus with, like, the VHS copy, you get the songs in English, but you get the episodes in Japanese. Which, yeah, kind of a good mix, I guess, for the VHS copies. But we'll talk about more on that later. Anyways, we will now jump into the menu tour for the entire Sing-Along Stories trilogy, starting up with Volume 1. Alrighty, so here we have the menu tour for Sing-Along and Stories Volume 1. So if you go to the orange, it'll play all the songs and episodes in English. Or if you go to the green, it'll play all the songs and stories in Japanese. So for Volume 1, we have Thomas We Love You, Toby, and Story 1 is Special Attraction, narrated by Michael Angelis. And then for Song 3, we have Don't Judge a Book by Its Cover. Story 2, we have Thomas Terrence in the Snow. And then Song 4 is Island Song, and then Song 5 is Really Useful Engine. And like I said, the episodes in Japanese are narrated by Leo Morimoto. Alright, so for Volume 2, we have Percy Seaside Trip, Harold the Helicopter, Donald's Duck, Sir Topham Hatt, Come for the Ride, and Let's Have a Race. And our story is Rusty and the Boulder, which is narrated by Michael Angelis for English on this DVD. And then our Japanese narrator is Leo Morimoto, of course, because I know Leo Morimoto narrated the first 8 seasons of Thomas. And finally, we have the menu tour for Sing-Along Stories 3. So we have Accidents Will Happen, Every Cloud Has a Silver Lining, It's Great to Be an Engine, Night Train, Snow Song, and Gone Fishing. And our story is Snow, narrated by Michael Angelis. And for the Japanese version of that episode, it is narrated by Leo Morimoto. So that's it for the menu tour for the entire Sing-Along and Stories trilogy. Now we'll jump into my review and thoughts on the Sing-Along and Stories trilogy. So overall, do I recommend the Sing-Along and Stories trilogy? I gotta say, I have binge-watched all of these DVDs, and I gotta say, this is awesome. Like, these are really cool, I gotta say. I can't put words to describe to this, but these are just phenomenal. Like, I'm surprised that, well, you know, Japan loves Thomas, and so they went all out with the whole Sing-Along Stories. Like, they made this entire thing into a trilogy. Now, compared to our version of Sing-Along Stories here in the US, like, all we get is, like, 2 episodes and, like, up to 7 or 8 songs on there. But, I mean, it's not a big deal. I'm not saying the US version's bad or anything. It's just that, well, I'm surprised, you know, with Japan, obviously, they went all out, you know. Now, I know I've mentioned this earlier, but if you get the VHS copy of the entire trilogy, you get the songs in English, but you get the episodes in Japanese. Now, if you get the DVD copies, which I recommend the DVD copies, which I'll get to that in a moment. If you get the DVD copies, you're going to have two different options. Well, first off, the entire trilogy on DVD is bilingual, and it gives you an option like if you want to watch the entire trilogy in English, go to the orange on the menu tour for each single DVD, or if you want to watch the entire trilogy in Japanese, go to the green when you go to each single menu tour for sing-along and stories. So overall, do I recommend the entire trilogy? I gotta say, if you're a Thomas home media collector like I am, and if you love collecting sing-along DVDs and stuff like that, I recommend these. And as I mentioned before, I recommend the DVD copies because they have more benefits. I guess mainly because, well, these are bilingual. So, you know, like, let's just say, oh, I don't want to watch these in Japanese all the time. Or, oh, I don't want to hear the songs in English all the time, you know. So, this is the best way to listen to all the Thomas songs in Japanese. And, yeah. And it gives you an option to watch Thomas episodes from these DVDs, like, either in English or in Japanese. And one thing I forgot to mention earlier, for Thomas Terrence in the Snow, even though this one's narrated by Ringo Starr, they actually used the West dub and not the UK dub for some weird reason. Yeah. But yeah, overall, if you ever get a chance to shop for Thomas Japanese DVDs online, I recommend the Sing-Along and Stories trilogy for sure. Anyways, that's gonna do it for me, buddy, and I will see you all next time. Take care.